Hey everybody, it's Master Gallengeist here, bringing you my review for Doctor Strange issue 4. And this continued the journey of Doctor Strange of getting kind of his powers and mojo back. And there's a big kind of event in this issue that occurred that was a pretty cool bit. So, this story, it kind of goes in between explaining Strange's journey, kind of how he's gotten his powers back, and then where he is presently. So we see that, like, Strange kinda in this dwarf on this run from Roxnor, the Purifier's forces. It's this photon-based race that are really into magic and want weapons, so they had kidnapped this dwarf. We kind of see going into the past as Kana is trying to delve into Strange's memories of the loss of magic, why that would have happened. And for some reason, Strange doesn't know why the loss happened. And that memories from that period are gone, and both of them are like, that could mean that the loss was pretty profound, and like of a cost for something really big. So we'll have to see how that goes on. That's kind of an interesting way for it to happen, since we haven't had much allusion to that in like previous arcs or whatnot. So I'm wondering where that's kind of going to go. So, kind of then brings up, of course, Ephraim, the dwarf that was kidnapped by the photon race, and that he's a legendary weaponsmith that they want him to create weapons. So they're like, okay, let's go save this dude, as we see that Strange has really gotten his magic back, really gotten his mojo back, and he's just getting back into form. Of course, he's kind of getting that kind of arrogance back, and saying that he should have just strode in there and showed him who's boss. They got to the dwarf, he's like, oh god, what's going on now? And Stranger's like, let this person go, because one of the guards came in, and then that set off the whole chase sequence. We'd also seen that they had gotten chased to a cliff, and Strange decides to take him off, and while he's attempting to do magic, it kind of shorts out a little bit, but he's able to call the Cloak of Levitation to them, and we see this really cool page where we just see him levitating over the forces of Roxnor, and it's just a really cool shot. But instead of escaping, Strange decides to try and show him who's who. It's like, wow, this is really kind of him getting this angry and going for this kind of revenge thing isn't your typical kind of Strange. Well, I mean, in the beginning, it would have kind of fit with him, but this isn't really the stuff that happens for someone who's called the Sorcerer Supreme. And kind of calls him out on that, but she kind of gets hit. They get put into a position where they're kind of almost screwed over by Roxnor's forces, but Khan is able to configure a teleporter and teleports Strange and the dwarf away. And they decide, alright then, we lost one weapons maker, you seem handy, you're going to make us weapons now. So, crap. Strange, of course, is ticked off at this and wants to figure out how to get back there and save her, but, of course, Ephraim tries to run from him, and he's like, stop, I tried to help you and everything. He's like, you're just as bad as them. You were going in there for vengeance and everything. He's like, no, I'm trying to help people. He's like, yeah, good at fooling yourself. He's like, I want justice. And he's going, well, magic's founding principle is not justice. It's always that kind of what you want versus the cost you're willing to pay for it. It's kind of it's a simple but powerful mathematical equation. If you want to effect a change in the universe, there must also come an equal cost to that, and it must be paid, regardless of who has to pay it. And I kind of like that, and he just calls him out on his bullshit, and he's like, your theory might not be wrong. So how do we do this? I don't have a teleportation spell, I don't have all I have are these things of, and Ephraim's like, what about your own stuff? Don't you make your own tools or your own spells and everything? And he's like, no, that's never occurred to me. And then he teleports him to what he calls Strange's new workshop, since he's going to teach him the Forge. It's like, this will be interesting, and interesting to see what Strange will learn about himself, and if he can kind of temper this kind of new ways that he's been doing, like getting angry and going for vengeance and getting that kind of old kind of swaggery, cocky arrogance back, and see kind of what goes from there, because he still has like an arrogance and everything, but in the last couple arcs, it was more like, I need to do this to protect people, not because he really thought he was, well, he thought he was the best one to do these things, but not because he was an arrogant, self-important, I am the best one there is. He's like, I'm the one that knows what to do with these things, and I need to do something, otherwise something bad's gonna happen. So, that's where we end off with him. We switch over, we see, Roxnar, talking to Kana. She's like, alright, here's this kind of stuff. Hopefully you use it on the Kree Empire. And he's like, no, we're gonna use it on someplace called Earth. It's like, ooh, okay, Strange really has to get on this and really kind of fix this. So, I liked where this went. I like how we kind of built Strange back to a kind of not beginner's level. He's not Sorcerer Supreme, but he's not the neophyte that he was when he went with the Ancient One to train. He's kind of in the basic kind of middle part where he's still trying to get there. He's got good control of magic, but it's still acting up on him. So I'm really interested to see where this is kind of going to be going, what the conclusion of Roxnar's attacks and advances will go, and how Strange is going to get out of this one. So those are my opinions on the issue. Tell me what you guys think in the comments below. If you liked it, if you didn't like it, if you agree with me, if you disagree with me. Also like and subscribe, and I hope you have a good day.